So what is Thirdweb? Thirdweb is basically a Web3 development framework, and it's a very comprehensive yet modular framework. And what I mean by that is through all parts of the stack, when you're creating a Web3 application, you'll need a smart contract, you'll need RPC, you'll need storage like we talked about earlier, the IPFS component to it. And then you'll also need some sort of front-end development library or some other SDK to build an application with, and Thirdweb offers all of that. And when I say modular, I mean that you can pick and choose parts of this as you want. So let's say, for example, you want to create your application with Thirdweb, but you've already created your smart contract, or there's a smart contract that you already want to interface with. You don't have to use Thirdweb for that part, but you can mix Thirdweb in when you want to, just depending on how you want to create your application. So we do pride ourselves on like the NFT smart contract development side, but also really just any smart contract you can develop through Thirdweb. We offer a Solidity SDK. The way our Solidity SDK works is we have like the base contract, and then you can also use different extensions depending on your use case. So for example, if you want to add different permissions or be able to enable things like transferring, burning, airdropping, etc., you can do so through the Solidity SDK. So to start with Thirdweb, what I'm going to do is navigate to this thirdweb.com/dashboard. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip past this. We're going to go ahead and connect your MetaMask wallet. Let me just go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do here is now I'm going to look for a contract that I want to deploy. And for this demonstration, I'm going to do the NFT drop contract. This one is a very popular one that you'll see people use when they're doing like the profile collections with like 10,000. Basically, it's an ERC 721 contract. So any use case for that, you can use the NFT drop contract here. I'm going to click on it and go ahead and hit deploy now. Over here, I have my metadata that I'm going to fill in. So let's just call this the Conflux workshop contract. And then I will just do Xeon. You could do your symbol is just like basically like a token ticker. For the image, I'm going to go ahead and use this placeholder that I've created. And then we're going to create a star NFT contract. With NFTs, we've talked a little bit about royalties where basically like upon the initial sale, you can get a percentage of the sale, but also for some contracts, you can also do secondary sales. So this would be your royalties, which is the secondary sale, and then primary sales. Which wallet does that go to? It automatically populates with the wallet that you've connected, but you're also free to change that if you want to. Also, you can deploy to any EVM network, but today we're deploying on Conflux. You can just search that up. I have a Conflux testnet here, but if you wanted to do the mainnet, you can also search for that and do that there. I'm now gonna go ahead and deploy my contract. So deploying your contract will require you to sign a transaction since you are making changes to the blockchain. And then you'll have to sign a second one. This step is gasless, but it adds it to your dashboard. So when you have multiple contracts, you're able to easily manage and find them just by connecting your wallet. And Conflux is pretty fast. So you can see we've successfully deployed the contract. It's going to redirect us to our contracts dashboard. In the build tab, you'll see different code snippets that help you get started really quickly. In the explore tab, if you've ever worked with Etherscan before, or if you want to like just directly call functions on your contract, read or write functions, you can do it through here. Any events that are happening on your contract, you can see people minting, or you can see like when it was initialized, the block number, etc. We are launching analytics soon, so if you are somebody who wants to keep track of like how your NFT project is doing and share that, you're able to do so through here. We also have the settings tab here. You can change that metadata that we set earlier. You can also change the primary sales and royalty settings if you so choose. And in the sources tab, you can see all the code. What's really important though, and what you'll want to do when you get started is first let's head over to the NFTs extension or the tab here. And what we're going to do is upload our NFTs to this contract so that people have NFTs to claim. So I'm going to use this, what we call the batch upload function. This is great if you're doing any NFT drop that has more than, a couple NFTs, because you'll want to have it with the associated metadata. And if you want to do like 10,000 of these, that's going to be like difficult to do. If you use something like Hashlips, which was mentioned earlier, it'll often spit out a JSON file as well with your generated artwork. So you can just drag and drop both of those into here. Let's see, I have a quick little stars CSV folder, so I'll just go ahead and drag that in here. And you can see it's populated with my image, the name of my NFT, the description, and the properties. You can see they're kind of formatted in this kind of JSON notation. There's two options here. If you've ever been on OpenSea and you've seen like a trading card collection and they kind of show you like the back or like some sort of placeholder image, and you'll see 10,000 of those before they're like revealed or something, you can do that with Thirdweb's dashboard. But you can also just leave it as is. You can reveal upon mint. And the first thing we need to do is set up a password. Make sure you don't lose this because then it won't be recoverable. And then I'm going to set this placeholder image again, just to indicate that it's not the actual image yet. And then for the description, I'm going to put NFT star placeholder. And let's go ahead and upload these 5 NFTs. And we're going to go ahead and confirm that. So now we've uploaded our NFTs, and you can see that it has the placeholder image right now and then the placeholder text and data. If we want to reveal these NFTs at any point, I don't have to do it the same day that I've uploaded, but if you have a specific date that you've wanted to reveal them, you can go into here and you can reveal the NFTs, and I'll show you what the dashboard looks like once you decide to reveal them. So now we see our NFTs as they normally are, or the way that we uploaded them. And then we can also see the owner. You can do a couple different properties as well through the dashboard. You can transfer or burn. Obviously, I can't do that right now because nobody has claimed it. But once you claim it as a user, the owner of the NFT can decide if they want to transfer or burn or whatever they want to do with the NFT. So the second thing that we will have to do on our dashboard before we can start building our application is setting up claim conditions. And claim conditions are basically settings that allow you to decide how people can claim your drop. So just to give you an idea of what that means, well, add a phase. You could do a public phase. If you have gated communities, or if you want to give like exclusive perks, you can do a public phase with like an allow list where you just upload all the addresses. And then based on that, you can have certain people mint and certain people unable to mint. So I'm just going to do public for now. You can name your phase. You can decide how many NFTs will you drop. Maybe you want to limit 100 of them on the first week and then do 200 the second week or something. You can totally do something like that. How many NFTs can be claimed per wallet? You can set that up as well. When will this phase start? If you don't want to start it today and start it next week, you can totally do something like that. And then you can also change like how much you want to charge and also the type of currency that you want to charge. So let's say I have my own ERC20 token that I want to charge. That basically rewards loyal users in my community. I can do something like that, but I'm gonna just leave it as default for now. We'll just go ahead and save these phases. And you will have to do this if you use an NFT drop before anybody can claim. Let's just confirm that. And while that's going through, I'm going to start building my app. So for this part, we are going to create our application. So what's pretty awesome is you can either import the Thirdweb SDK into your already existing project and start using it like that. Or if you don't really have a starting point, which I don't today, we can go ahead and run a command, which will give us a boilerplate or starter project to start building on top of. So I'm going to go ahead and run that. And then we're going to do npx thirdweb create app. It's the command that we're going to run. We'll call this Conflux workshop. And we're going to use EVM. I like to use Next.js. If you like to use create React app or any other ones, feel free to change that. And I'm just going to do JavaScript don't want to make it too complicated today. Okay, so now we're going to navigate into our Conflux workshop repo, and we're going to, actually, we'll just do it in VS Code. Let's go ahead and do a new terminal, and we're going to yarn dev so we can run our project. So what we're going to do from here is I'm going to start in my _apps.js file, and I want to copy this import because I want to make sure I'm using the right chain here, and then I'm going to set the active chain as this Conflux eSpace testnet here. So that's all I got to do as far as configuring. The RPC is basically there on default, so if you do want to pass in your own RPC, you can do so in with the custom configuration. So this is all the code that we see here. I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this because I don't need it. I'm just going to make my own thing. We're going to use the contract that we just created today. So I'm going to do contract, and we're going to do use contract and pass in the contract that we have from our dashboard here. And then we also want to get our NFTs from this contract. So we're going to do data NFT. And then we have two awesome params for, I'm going to do use NFT from the contract that we just created here. I'm going to pass in contract. And then we can do two different check states. So we can do is loading. If my NFTs are still loading, I want to return a div that says NFT is loading. And then if there is an error or we don't have the NFT, we're going to return another div that says NFT not found. And now inside of our app, or what we want to render on the screen, is first we want to have our NFT media. So we want to see the image of the NFT that we're rendering. To Thirdweb NFT media, and the metadata is going to come from our nft.metadata. So if I save this and look at my app now, I need to import that, my bad. So now you see NFT is loading, which is what we had before. And then now you can see our NFT at ID 0. So the only second thing that I want to do here is I want to add a button that allows people to interact with my contract. And in this specific case, I want the button to allow users to claim. So I'm going to add what we call the Web3 button. And the contract address that I'm going to pass in is the one we had earlier. So the easiest way to fetch that is to contract.getAddress. I'll pass that in. And then I also want an action. Actually, I'll do it for the next line. So I want an action. And the action is on my contract. It's contract. I'm going to create a function to claim one NFT here. And then inside of my Web3 button, I just want it to say like claim blue star or something like that. Okay, so perfect. So before you see the button, you'll first see a prompt to connect your wallet. So we can go ahead and do that and connect our wallet. Yep, so now you can see that my connected wallet here has claimed the NFT. This is how to do it with our front-end SDK. If you want to use different SDKs, we also do React Native, TypeScript, Python, Go, Unity, and Solidity, depending on what your use cases are. For some great starter resources, I highly recommend starting with the templates page, which will give you some basically ready-made code for you to modify if you want to create an NFT project.